Good evening, South Mississippi. Meteorologist Taylor Graham here, joining you from the newsroom to give you the latest on our forecast. As you probably have already known, we do not have an early evening newscast tonight, so I've got all the 411 on what to expect weather-wise over the next few days. And spoiler alert, it is going to be pretty warm the next several days. Not looking at any big cool downs anytime soon. And even tonight, while it is going to be cool, not overly chilly, many of us by early Sunday morning are going to be in the mid to upper 50s. So a cool start. You may need a light jacket, but we are going to be quickly warming up tomorrow. So those mid to upper 50s not going to be lasting too long. Now this morning we did see some patchy dense fog in spots. Doesn't look like the fog is going to be as dense tomorrow morning, but there still could be some patchy fog here or there. As of right now, we are not under any dense fog advisories for Sunday morning. I will let you know if that changes. There could be a little patchy fog. Doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a widespread issue overnight tonight into Sunday. But again, if that changes, we will keep you posted on that. As of right now, the sky mostly clear, pretty mild at this point in Gulfport. We are at 67 with a dew point of 58. Pretty comfortable outside. We're starting to see temperatures begin to drop a little bit more. It looks like near Moss Point, past Gagula, near the Trent Lott Airport, we're getting some of that cooler air to be draining in to the river basin. So that's why it's so much cooler. Elsewhere, we're mainly in the 60s for the time being, pretty close to where we were at about this time yesterday. So cool start tomorrow morning, but tomorrow afternoon, shorts, flip-flops, t-shirts, you can get away with those no problem. On the coast tomorrow, we're going to be in the upper 70s for the most part. If you head a little bit farther inland, it won't take very long for you to reach the low 80s going into the afternoon. So these temperatures are about 5 to 10 degrees above average from where we normally are at during the middle of November. So tomorrow, a warm day, no doubt about that. We are going to see some passing clouds, but we also expect a good bit of sunshine to wrap up the weekend. The setup right now at the surface, well, we have an area of high pressure along the coast of Florida. Because that is far enough to our east, we are going to see winds around that area of high pressure that moves clockwise. We are going to be seeing a bit more of a southerly to southwest wind tomorrow, maybe even at times a bit more out of the west. One thing I've noticed living here, whenever we have a wind out of the southwest, that typically translates to a pretty nice warm up, and that's what we do expect tomorrow. In the upper levels, we have a ridge of high pressure over the Gulf. That is going to keep us pretty warm not only tomorrow, but over the next few days. Like I said, we don't really have any big cool downs in the forecast anytime soon at this point. Looks like most of next week or this upcoming week and even a few days following that, it's going to stay pretty mild. So temperatures tonight, mid to upper 50s, not bad. There could be a little patchy fog. At this time, I don't expect it to be too much of a widespread issue. Tomorrow afternoon, we are definitely warming up. Temperatures upper 70s, low 80s. Some passing clouds are certainly possible, but we'll see a good bit of sunshine in the mix as well. And then as we get into Monday morning, a bit more of the same. We're looking at lows, mid to upper 50s for the most part. And then by Monday afternoon, notice there winds a little bit more out of the south and east. We may be just a smidge cooler on Monday, not by much. Generally speaking, mid to upper 70s expected on the coast. Farther inland, we're still looking at some spots getting into the low 80s. And like I've been talking about, the warm weather sticking around for a while. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on the coast, we are still anticipating highs in the upper 70s. Still could see a few low 80s a little bit farther inland. Friday and Saturday could be a tiny bit cooler. It really depends on if our next best chance of rain is going to materialize. By the end of the week, we do have a chance of seeing a few showers and storms, but at least through Wednesday and even into parts of Thursday, rain chances are looking pretty slim. We don't have a ton of rain in the forecast at this time, but what we do have is plenty of warm weather. Again, that ridge of high pressure is going to keep us warm, warmer than normal or average across the southeast, and even across the eastern part of the country, we are likely going to see warmer than average temperatures or weather heading into roughly the 21st through the 25th. Cooler than average temperatures expected in parts of the southwest, but for us, not quite feeling like Thanksgiving or Christmas just yet with those upper 70s and low 80s. We really do need more rain around the area. Rain chances at this time look the highest by about Friday, possibly a few showers lingering into Saturday. But even then, doesn't look like this is going to be a drought-busting rain by any means. We really do need more rain across the area. We are still seeing drought conditions. This is rainfall since September 1st. So far this season, for the season of fall, we really are running below average from our normal month-to-date rainfall. So that goes for Moss Point and especially for Gulfport Biloxi, that the international airport where we typically have better track records of records actually. So we are running well below average at this point since September 1st. Same thing can be said for Moss Point. Just anecdotally, my yard is really dry. It's kind of sandy. I really could use some rain myself, but we just don't have a ton of it in the forecast at this time. Now our next chance for rain, like I said, that's mainly going to be on Friday. We are going to be watching a low pressure system and a cold front trying to approach us from the west. There is a chance too that possibly parts of the southern plains, maybe even into the southeast, could be dealing with some strong thunderstorms. We'll see how far east that cold front is going to make it. Some forecast models show that it may be stalling a little bit before it gets to us. Hopefully we do get a little bit of rain out of this because we really do need some more rain across the area. But at this time, it still looks like the majority of the rain is going to be to our north and west, and we can see that there with that orange color. That indicates some spots in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, maybe picking up over 5 inches of rain over the next 7 days. For us, we're looking more at 1/4 of an inch up to 1/2 an inch across the board if we're lucky. Again, some forecast models have turned it a little bit back on the rainfall amounts by the end of the week. But if you want some more rain, looks like Friday is going to be our best chance at this time. And we may see some of those showers continue into the next upcoming weekend as well. But because we are still about 6 days away from this, there's a lot of details that are unknown. It's just signals are showing that Friday, that could be your day to finally get a little bit of that wet weather. In the tropics, we have 2 weeks left of hurricane season. Thankfully, things are nice and quiet as far as I can tell. No new development expected over the next 7 days. The water temperature in Biloxi Back Bay has now cooled down into the mid-60s. So we've got that going for us. As far as the tropics go, I'm not really anticipating any development. So fingers crossed we can end all of hurricane season on a quiet note, which typically happens during the end of November. As for our local weather, very warm considering we are in the middle of November. Highs tomorrow in the upper 70s, low 80s expected inland. We will see a gradual increase in our low temperatures by the end of the week. We'll get a little bit more humidity, so it's going to be a bit more difficult for us to cool down as much. So lows by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday may only be in the mid-60s. Again, Friday, that's our best chance of seeing some showers. At this point, doesn't look like a guarantee, but I know a lot of us have been wanting more rainfall. But at least through Tuesday and Wednesday, hardly any rain at all expected. On the flip side, it is going to be beautiful weather to spend some time outside, especially if you enjoy some of the warmer fall-like weather. Not going to be overly humid, so at least we've got that going for us over the next several days. So time now is 7:45. We will be having our 10 o'clock newscast tonight, and that may be running a little bit behind over on ABC, depending on college football and when that ends. But we hope to see you at 10 o'clock. I'll have another update on your forecast and all the news that's going on in South Mississippi.